Good morning, Year 9. This is a video for your lesson today, Tuesday the 30th of June. I hope that you're all doing well. Hope you've had a decent start to the week and that you are managing with your work okay. We've got 3.5 weeks to go to the end of term, so it is really, really important you keep going so that you're at the right place for us to pick up again in September. So today's lesson is a Zoom lesson. If you're able to access it, I do recommend it. We've got a couple of listenings that we will be able to do together on Zoom if you can access that. However, as always, the content is exactly the same. So if you can't access the Zoom lesson, please don't worry. Just go through the PowerPoint and watch this YouTube clip to help you do today's learning. So we've done quite a lot on writing. You've done a couple of 90-word pieces for me that I've been able to give you feedback on. Thank you for those of you that have been sending in your sentences after the non-Zoom lessons. I've been able to feed back to you on those. I've got the dice game again for you today. The reason being I've put another 6 verbs in there. It's practicing another 6 times how to create these different tenses, and it's just giving you a bit of verb practice in what is a non-grammar lesson otherwise. Because today we're looking very much at reading and listening skills. This is something that can fall by the wayside a bit during this lockdown because listenings are much easier to do in the classroom. However, I am going to be setting you 2 listenings to do today. We are not going to be using the Caminos 2 book. You know my views on that book. So instead, we're going to use the Viva 3 book. Now, you haven't used this year, and in fact, you haven't had to log in to Pearson Active Learn this year. But the details are on the PowerPoint. You need to log into it, find the correct book. So it's Viva 3. You might have to scroll down because I think they're in alphabetical order. Then go in Viva 3 to the red version of the book. You are after the 2nd edition of Viva 3, and then you've got 2 listenings to do there. This will probably be our last lesson focusing on jobs. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to just have a good look at that and try your best with those listening exercises. If you are finding it tricky, you have obviously got word reference to look up the odd word, but I'd like you to rely on those reading and listening strategies, CCCG, cognate, context, common sense, and guess, to try and come up with an answer before you go to try and find an alternative. So you have a listening to do with jobs and why people like to do it. You have a listening to do with jobs and how it suits someone's character, which builds directly on from last lesson. And the last thing I'm asking you to do is pair up job adverts and personal specifications. You'll find there are 6 job adverts and only 4 personal specifications. So when you finish that, your extension is to go to the remaining 2 job ads and write personal details for the ideal person for that job. I'll be available as ever, second half of the lesson, by email. Let me know if you have any problems. Take care of yourselves, and I will speak to you again in a week's time.